boxes because they're all duplicates. Since I'm kind of thinking about this right now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about, so look at my highlights while I talk about this. So just talking about what I was talking about to Fish before, I kind of think the game is a little broken as a competitive game because, yeah, this is too loud. I'll just leave it on the main screen. Ugh, not on him. Let's look at Zen. So, yeah, the game needs something. Needs something more. I've been stuck in bronze for most of my time playing the game since Season 1. I've been in silver a few times. When I went to roll queue, I got into silver DPS and healer. And I think one time I was also as tank. But I've been playing flex the whole time, trying to find some combination of characters that will get me out of bronze. And focusing on a character seems to be the better way. But that's kind of boring. So, but I feel like in a lot of the games I play really well. Like there was a few games today where I had a lot of mistakes, and I know when I made them that it could have cost us the game, but it didn't. Like that first game, we won anyway, even though I used my ult twice poorly. So there's something wrong with this game, the way it's adjudicating people individually in a game where teamwork is how you win. As you see in some of the other games today, we lost just because 3 people decided to go in by themselves against the other 6. It's like, that's never going to work unless you're like, you know, a smurf. And even then, they probably wouldn't do that. So there's something wrong with this game where you're being adjudicated that way when your performance is not how you're being rated on. You're being rated on how your team did. You got a win or a loss, and then a little bit of sprinkling of like performance-based stats, but it only varies between. I usually get 20 SR for a win and around 20 for minus 20 for a loss, and it fluctuates somewhere between 18 and 26. I've seen for me, so I'm pretty sure it probably can go down as far as like 10 or something. But it's not enough. The part of the fun of playing competitive is seeing yourself improve and rank up. I've improved my skills a lot in this game, but I don't seem to be getting the corresponding ranking up. A lot of times due to some mistakes I still make, but other times just due to like stupid things the teammates do, or there's a smurf on the other team who's just dominating us, and there's no matter how good I was, unless I was also a smurf, I couldn't do anything about it. There's other times where just someone on your team leaves or is disconnected, then you're stuck with a 5v6, and if both teams are equal, you're going to lose. And a lot of times it isn't equal, but very less chance of winning. Other times someone's just being a dick and throwing on your team, and then you get 1 or 2 people just staying in spawn when you go out to fight. So again, same thing as the lever. You're at a disadvantage. And people may say, well, the odds are that that'll happen to the other team, but it may happen to some other team, but the one I'm currently fighting, it isn't happening to. So, and in like maybe, this 26 seasons I played, maybe it has evened out, maybe I do belong in bronze. But the point is, even if I do or don't, why can't it be based on my individual performance and not based on the luck I get of the draw of which teammates I play with? Hopefully in Overwatch 2 they'll deal with that. But here's a couple thoughts I had about what you could do in Overwatch 1, or they could do it when Overwatch 2 comes out and Overwatch 1 is getting an upgrade, as they say they're going to do. So, first of all, team-based SR is, I think, the solution to this current problem. So, even in the current Overwatch, they could introduce teams. You sign up, 6-man team. You have someone, who's in charge of that team, and they get to decide who joins and who leaves and all that stuff. Their team lead, team owner or whatever. So they put in a name. They put that team name into the system. And then whenever they play as that team, they can add and remove members as much as they want, have subs, have, a big group of people. Basically, it's a guild system. But the team has a name, and when the people play as that team name, the whole team gets a single SR that represents that team. So you're incentivized to perform well because you want your team to do well, and you all the whole group of people who are on that team benefit from you improving that team. So everyone can work together, help each other, help learn the game better, like just practice things together. Maybe they get sessions where they actually get together and do scrimming or something. This is like something that anybody at any level can do. You don't need to just be in, masters or like grandmasters or even, professional players. You don't need to be that to do that kind of fun thing. That's just like playing pickup sports, right? You get together on a weekend and you play a sport together that you all enjoy. So why can we not just, you can just do that if you want to, but there is no team-based SR. That's the point of the whole thing. So when you have a team, you play as that team. If you are in the team and playing as the team and you're all 6 people are on the team, then you get put into the same, you can play still in the same area. The team will have a rating and a ranking, and then as your team goes up, you'll play against other if there are other teams, it should matchmake to those other teams. But if there isn't, you can still play in the regular queue as a team, and then maybe when your team wins, you still get the same SR you would have for your personal, but your team also gets an SR, and that's the thing that you can maybe build up. And then there should be no limits in that team as to who can play in it. So, well, maybe there is, I don't know, maybe some range of ranks, but the rank should be less important than the people playing together as a team and enjoying that experience, so that the better players can help lesser players like rank up or get better at the game and stuff. And if you want to check the stats or whatever, do something to figure out if they're actually really contributing that much to the team. But this would, I think, allow people to kind of get more into the game. I would say that's not that hard of a system to implement. You basically just need to store a string for this team for the team name, and store another value for the team's ranking. And then it's just this extra bit of metadata. It doesn't mean anything game, a bit of UI to make it possible, and then a little bit of data tracking to store what the values are and how it changes, which they probably already have systems for individual play. So I really don't see why this can't be kind of a feature in the game before we get Overwatch 2, because they're going to add guilds and all that stuff there, they say. So fine, they want a system that works for all their games, but Overwatch is a little different. It's only right now only a team game. You can only play it as a team. There's deathmatch and stuff, but you can basically, the core part of the game is a team PvP game. So give us these features before. The other games don't need them as much. Maybe WoW, but Heroes of the Storm, they probably don't care about it anymore. StarCraft, who cares if you're in a guild? You're just still playing one-on-ones. So why do they need something that works for all their games? Just do it in Overwatch and then port it and expand it to the other games, which is probably what they're going to do. So that's how I think we should do it. And then the other thing is what Fish and I were just talking about, is getting the the game needs some kind of like better individual ranking up system, because the current one is just it's depressing, it's self-defeating, it makes you feel like crap, when you're not able to rank up even though you're playing well. Like, just sucks. And look at my rank. This is pathetic. Like, I've got gold, 3 stars in a gold border. I've been playing this game since day one. And my rank is like shit, as the worst it's been like forever. Like, last season I got up to 1705. That's like my all-time high or something like that in open queue, and now I'm down 500 SR because of just a string of like shitty games. Like, nothing to do with, some of them it was due to me, I'm sure, but like, you have to counter all those other things, like the levers and the throwers and the smurfs. You have to basically be able to get effectively a 70% win rate, because 20% of that is going to be automatically lost due to those other shitty situations you have no control over. And then to get a 50% win rate, you can slowly climb back up. But even at 50%, it's still pretty crappy. Like, 50% should be like, should bring you up a lot faster than it currently does. 40% should even bring you up, I think. If you're getting 40% wins, I think you're still doing better than most. Well, you're not doing better than most, I suppose, but it's way harder to get a win in this game than it is to get a loss. To get a loss, all it takes is for one person to just do nothing. Like, it's so easy to lose in this game. It's so hard to win. So, look back when they had Season 1. Yeah, this weird numbering before. I don't even know what rank that was. Season 2. Yeah, I was like, I barely knew how to play the game, and I started initially at 1624, and then I played like 20 games or something, and I was like, ooh, this is really hard. And I deranked down to 1412. I was like, I don't want to play it anymore. I'm worried I'm going to lose more rank, and I like being up this high at least. And then the next season, they just deranked everybody. Like, what the fuck was that? What was the point of that? They bumped us all down, because I had 1624, and they bumped us down right at the beginning to like 700 or something, because they thought it's much more fun to rank yourself up. It's like, fuck you, don't take away my accomplishment. Not that it was that much, because I didn't really play much, but once they did that, I was disheartened. Next season I didn't do much better. The season after that, I was still learning the game at this point. I almost quit. I almost quit playing competitive when they did that to us. And I played this other season. I did like 10 games or whatever, my basic number of games. And then saw that. I'm like, oh, this game sucks. This is terrible. I kept going though, and I actually started to rank up a little bit. Season 5, and then at about Season 6, I started to actually feel like I was getting good enough at the game to play multiple heroes and be able to switch. And then I discovered Zenyatta, and wow, that really made a huge difference. I started to play it a lot more. Like Season 6, yeah, 40. I started to play a lot. I was playing Zenyatta then. What was I playing before that? Okay, so yeah, Season 5, I was playing Junkrat a bit, and then Zenyatta, a little bit of D.Va. Season 4, I figured out how to do all of D.Va's abilities, so I really played her a lot. Previous to that, I think I was just playing Bastion. Junkrat, Lucio, D.Va. I didn't know how to make him do the wall riding. That was crazy stuff. I really thought I played Bastion a lot more. Season 2 was D.Va. Must have just been Season 1. It wasn't even that much either. Pharah, Junkrat, Lucio. First season, I had no idea what I was doing. So yeah, then like around 8, I started to get up out of that hole. Zenyatta was really good then too. They didn't have any nerfs on him yet. Yeah, climbed up some more. I started diversifying back into the ones I was playing before. Brig started to get really good. Brig came in the game and was really good. She was really dominant, actually. That's when Goats was around. And yeah, then this one I got up to 1500 and then fell back down. Played a lot more games that season. And look at that, Junkrat and Zenyatta and Diva. Lucio, Brig, Ryan. And then this one I got another good season high and then fell back down. At the end of each season I would play a bunch, and then all the tryhards were in there, and it just made it really hard to rank up that last bit. And then this is where I started playing tank more, because Zenyatta I think wasn't as good at this point. I don't remember what happened. But then I started playing less games. I was starting to get disheartened again because I just couldn't get out of bronze. And then, yeah, I played less there too, a little more Diva. Yeah, Diva and Zen. Whenever I had a fallback, I went to Zen. And then this season I left Zen quite a lot. Picked up Moira. You know, I got back up and down again, up and down. And then roll Q comes in. I'm like, oh great, I have a chance to now see if I'm like really good at one roll or not. And it seemed like damage and support were my good ones. I didn't play much tank, mostly because the rank was low. And then that fell into the toilet. And then so I stuck with support. I got into silver then, mostly Moira. Zen was kind of sucky at that point. And then here, this is where I actually ended the season in. This is the first time I ended the season in silver with my DPS, or with my healer. And what this made me do is now I finally made it into silver, so I stopped playing this role because I didn't want to lose any points. I'd only play this when I was already on a roll for winning. And so in later seasons, I hardly play any healer, and I fell again. And then these two ranks I didn't care about because they were already low, but I played a lot more tank at that point. So this game drove me to play my best role less because I had already like ranked it up, and every time I played I would go down and lose that silver. So it just made me play the ones I was worse at, and that's not right. That shouldn't be the driving. That shouldn't be the way the game drives you. Then they put open queue back in. I still had a little bit in my support, but I still kept losing it. If every time I played it, I would lose some of it, lose a little bit of it, and it just trickled away. I got some back there, season 24. You know, tried open queue a little bit. And last season, I did open queue a lot and got up almost into silver. And then this season, I started the season in, I went right into silver in the beginning of the season, and now I'm like I fell all the way back down and lost 200 from my support. So now I'm like, I'm good at this game. Like, I know how to play. I know what to do. You know, I'm back into playing Zen again. I'm pretty good with him. It's just, it doesn't reflect in these numbers. Like, there's something wrong with this game if that's the way it works. You know, look at all these hours I put into that. Still, my healer hours are more than any of the others. It's like, I don't know what is wrong with this game. Like, well, I know what's wrong with it. There's just no way to group up when the game is all about grouping up. Alright, I'm running in circles now. That's it. I'm gonna, I'll clip this and put this onto YouTube when I get a chance, and maybe some people can comment on that. Nobody's here in chat, but okay, well, have a good night, and see you next time.